All right, so let's dive into TSMC.
TSMC.
Yeah, the world's biggest chip maker.
Right.
And they just saw their profits explode
Explode is right.
by 54% last quarter,
Yeah.
hitting a massive $10.1 billion.
Huge.
Now, you might think, okay, another tech company just raking it in.
Sure.
But this isn't just any success story.
No.
This surge is directly tied to the explosion of AI.
Absolutely.
And it gives us a glimpse into the future of this whole industry.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is that TSMC's success isn't just about riding the AI wave. It's about being the wave maker, you know?
Right.
They're the ones making the high-performance chips that are making AI possible.
Oh, wow.
Think about like those mind-blowing AI image generators.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about TSMC's chips are what gives them that power.
Really?
I mean, they're literally building the foundation for this creative revolution.
So they're not just making chips, they're making the brains behind the AI revolution.
Exactly. They're like the silent partner powering companies like Nvidia, Apple, Qualcomm.
Yeah?
In fact, the GPUs inside the latest AI supercomputers, most likely made by TSMC for Nvidia.
That's wild.
Yeah, and they're predicting that AI-related revenue will triple this year.
Triple, wow.
Which is incredible considering it's already predicted to make up about 15% of their total revenue.
That's a lot.
It is. But, and here's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
It's not all smooth sailing for them.
Ooh.
Even with this AI boom, the overall chip market is facing some slowdowns.
Really?
Remember all those supply chain issues and stockpiling we saw during the pandemic?
Yeah, I felt like everyone's trying to hoard computer chips at one point.
Right, and now that demand for things like smartphones and PCs has cooled, the industry is grappling with those leftover stockpiles.
I see.
Plus there's another wrinkle, the packaging bottleneck.
Wait, hold on, packaging?
Yeah.
I had no idea that was such a crucial bottleneck.
It is.
It sounds so mundane, but it's literally holding back the development of faster AI.
It might sound mundane, but it's a critical step.
Okay.
Imagine building a supercomputer, but you can't get the parts to fit together properly.
Right.
That's the challenge.
It's tough.
TSMC and the industry are facing, as chips become more complex and powerful, packaging them becomes a bigger hurdle.
Okay, that makes sense. So how is TSMC dealing with all of this?
Well,
They must be doing something to try and keep up with this insane demand.
they are, and they're betting big. We're talking over $30 billion.
Wow.
In investments this year alone, part of that is building 3 new plants in Arizona.
Arizona, that seems like a bold move.
It is.
Aren't most chip makers concentrated in Asia?
They are, yeah.
What's the strategic thinking behind this?
Well, it's a multi-layered strategy. First, it diversifies their manufacturing locations. Second, it puts them closer to key US-based clients, like Nvidia.
Oh, yeah?
These plants are specifically aimed at helping TSMC meet the growing demand for AI chips.
I see.
But they come with limitations.
Oh, what's that?
Taiwan is being very strategic. They're restricting the most advanced chip production,
Okay.
the 2nm chips, to their home turf.
Now, these 2nm chips are the bleeding edge, right?
They are.
What makes them so special?
Imagine cramming billions of transistors onto a space smaller than a fingernail.
That's tiny.
That's the level of precision we're talking about. And Taiwan wants to keep that expertise close to home.
Right.
So for now, those Arizona plants will focus on 4mm and 3nm chips.
So while TSMC is expanding, there is a level of control being exerted by Taiwan.
There
It
is.
sounds like a high-stakes poker game.
It does.
TSMC is all in on AI, betting billions that this boom will continue.
Yeah.
But what happens if the market folds?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
We're seeing record profits now.
Yeah.
But the future is far from certain.
Right.
It really is a gamble, and it highlights just how complex this industry is. You know, it's not just about TSMC, it's about this whole chip value chain, this intricate network of specialized companies that make these technological marvels possible.
Okay, so break it down for me.
Sure.
Who are the other players in this game?
Well, it starts with companies like ASML.
ASML.
Yeah. They produce the incredibly precise lithography machines used to etch those tiny circuits onto the silicon wafers. These machines are marvels of engineering costing hundreds of millions of dollars each.
Wow, so we're talking about serious investment just to get the equipment.
Oh, yeah.
What about the chips themselves?
Right. Then you have companies that specialize in producing the silicon wafers themselves,
Okay.
which have to be incredibly pure and defect-free.
Wow.
It's mind-boggling how they can create something so perfect at such a microscopic scale.
It really is. And then, of course, there's the packaging, which we talked about earlier.
Right.
TSMC is really feeling the pressure there.
Exactly, as chips become more complex and powerful,
Right.
packaging them becomes exponentially more challenging. It's like a delicate dance trying to balance the incredible demand for these chips with the complexity and cost of actually producing them.
And all of this is happening against a backdrop of geopolitical tensions, supply chain disruptions,
Yeah.
and the constant pressure to innovate and stay ahead of the competition.
It's a lot to juggle.
It is, but for those of us who aren't chip experts, what does all of this actually mean?
That's a great question.
Why should we care about the intricacies of chip fabrication and the challenges facing companies like TSMC?
It matters because these tiny chips are the foundation of our modern world.
Yeah.
I mean, they power everything from our smartphones and computers to our cars,
Right.
medical devices, and even the infrastructure that keeps our society running.
So basically, the chips that TSMC makes are affecting every aspect of our lives, even if we don't realize it.
Precisely. And as AI becomes more prevalent, the demand for these high-performance chips will only continue to grow, which means that the challenges facing TSMC and the entire chip industry will become even more critical in the years to come.
So while this AI boom is exciting and full of potential, it also raises a lot of questions
It does.
about sustainability and the ability to meet this growing demand.
Absolutely.
What can we do as consumers, or even just as informed citizens, to better understand this complex world and the forces at play?
That's where resources like siliconanalyst.com come in.
Okay.
They provide in-depth analysis of the chip market, covering everything from fab capacities and production costs to the intricacies of the global supply chain. It's a great way to stay informed and understand the dynamics that are shaping the future of technology.
It sounds like a valuable resource for anyone who wants to dive deeper into this world.
It really is.
So we've talked about TSMC's current success, the challenges they face, and the complex ecosystem they operate within.
Right?
But what about the bigger picture?
Yeah.
Is this AI boom really sustainable? Is this level of demand for AI chips something we can expect to continue?
Right.
Or is it just a temporary surge?
Yeah.
What does the future hold for TSMC and the companies that rely on them? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? While we're seeing this incredible surge in AI-related chip demand right now.
Yeah.
It's tough to say for sure if this is the new normal or just a temporary spike.
It really is, yeah. It's like trying to predict the weather.
Right.
There are so many factors at play.
Yeah.
AI is undoubtedly transforming industries, from healthcare and finance to transportation and entertainment.
Right.
But the long-term demand for these specialized chips will depend on how quickly and widely AI is adopted across different sectors.
So it's not just about the technology itself,
Right.
but how it's used and integrated.
Exactly. And then there's the question of competition.
Oh, right.
TSMC might be dominant now,
Yeah.
but other players like Intel and Samsung are investing heavily to catch up.
That makes sense. No one stays on top forever,
Nope.
especially in tech,
Especially in tech.
right? And we can't forget about potential disruptors on the horizon.
Right.
Quantum computing, for instance, could completely rewrite the rules of the game.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the difference between an abacus and a supercomputer.
Totally.
If quantum computing takes off,
Yeah.
the demand for traditional silicon-based chips could shift dramatically.
It could, for sure.
So while TSMC is riding high on this AI wave, there are a lot of unknowns.
There are.
It's like they're navigating uncharted waters.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
They're making strategic moves like the Arizona expansion, but they're also vulnerable.
Right.
Their reliance on a few key clients for a big chunk of their revenue could backfire
Yeah.
if those clients face challenges or if the competition heats up.
It's a high-stakes game with a lot of moving parts.
Absolutely it is.
But it's also a fascinating time to be watching this industry.
Oh, for sure.
The decisions being made today will have a ripple effect
Right.
on the future of technology and the global economy.
I agree with that.
Absolutely, this deep dive has been eye-opening.
Shazbin.
Who knew there was so much complexity behind the tiny chips that power our world?
Pretty remarkable.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, for anyone who's as intrigued as I am, we highly recommend checking out siliconanalyst.com.
Good resource.
They've got some great resources that break down the complexities of the chip market. Things like fab capacities, pricing trends, and that intricate value chain we talked about.
Oh.
It's a great way to stay informed and understand the forces that are shaping the future of technology.
It's definitely worth a look.
And with that, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of TSMC AI and the incredible world of chip fabrication. We hope you've enjoyed the journey. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those questions coming.